What's going down, D-Gens? We're back. Like I said, this week is going to have several videos. It's not my usual one-hitter quitter, my one-night stand, my I can only go once and then I need some juice and a nap kind of thing. This is going to be several times. Buckle up and feel the G's and let's go. So, we already had 4 plays in the books, 2 teasers, 2 totals. I did say we were going to have just one more because, like I said, we usually do try to stick it to pretty much just 5 plays a week. I personally, I'm going to probably go just one over that, and it's strictly because the Madden algorithm is showing value. I'm going to give you all of the leans or all of the Madden plays as far as value is concerned. It's up to you. If you want to take them all, you can. I'm going to list the one that I feel most comfortable with, and then from there, again, you can do what you like. Some of these are already in our teasers, so we're good there too. But let's start with that one. The Ravens, which is already in one of the teasers that we had, is actually going to be a great value according to Madden. So Madden right now has the spread at 12 points, or should be roughly 12 points between the Ravens and the Colts. Now that is giving a 2-point advantage for home field advantage to the Ravens, obviously. Now, again, take that away, it's obviously 10. Right now, the current line is 8. That's what's floating around out there. It was at 7.5 for a long time. It got bumped up to 8. I know people. There's a 7, involved in the 7.5. Obviously, right? It's adjacent to it, but it's not as key as 7. So unless you were buying it to the 7, the half point up isn't really a huge factor for me. I still like it at the 8. I have already again listed it in a teaser, and the teasers and the other plays from the last video will be in the comments below, but. I am not completely against going just the Ravens as a standalone minus the 8 points right now, being that there's 4 points of value per the Madden algorithm. Now, if we go to the next video here, now 49ers, Giants, the algorithm here says that there should be value in the Giants, but if you look at the track record right now, there was supposedly value in the first one. They lost by 40 points. There was even number at the 4. They lost in the second one. So really they're 0-2 right now, which means that something about their rating system is not right. So I'm going to stay off of that line. Titans, Browns. This is one that I'm very interested in, and and if anything, if you want to make it one play, guys, instead of like, hey, let me just put like $5 on each of these, or $30 or $100 or whatever on each of these, just do a round robin, and that way you have one play. Hopefully they all hit. It'd be great, but if they don't, you at least get something back for your troubles on that. It's just a way to kind of minimize your output but maximize your abilities. So Titans, Browns. Current line right now is Titans +3. Madden says that it should be Titans really +1.5 or 1.7, which I'm just running to 1.5. Now, Titans, the reason I like them, just like I like the Ravens, is because this algorithm is a perfect 2-0 right now. They said that the first line should have been the Titans +2.5. The line was +3. They won that one. The Chargers game, it said that the line really should have been Titans +1.3. Let's just say 1.5. The line and closing line was 3. Again, they win that one. This one, they're saying the line should be really, again, probably about 1.5. Again, it's 3. So you're seeing these 3s with the Titans, which is telling you that the books know that these guys play a very close game. They like to keep it really, really close. Doesn't matter who they're playing, how good, how bad, what style they're playing. Most of these games are going to come down to that last, drive, to the last couple minutes, all that kind of stuff, which is perfectly fine. Just know that going in, know that you're going to get that sweat in the end of the fourth quarter, most likely. But yeah, so Titans +3, that's another one that I would like. Let me go to the next game here, which is the Bucks, and this is another one that they've just provided huge value. The line right now is Bucks +4.5. The Madden algorithm says it should really be Bucks +1.5, which is crazy because this line earlier in the week was like Bucks +7. Now I unfortunately got the teaser on the other end of this. I got Eagles -1, which I guess as a half point of value, looking at the actual algorithm itself or the Madden portion of it, but I've obviously lost value since the Lions moved against us. But the same thing with the Bucks here. They are 2-0 with this Madden algorithm. Game one, they should have been 3-point 3-point dogs. The line was actually 5.5. They covered that one. Second one, they should have been 2-point favorites. They were 3-point favorites. They covered that one. The first one, or this game here, they should be 1.5 point dogs. They are 4.5 point dogs. You're getting an extra 3 points of value. I'm not playing this just because I've already missed the boat, I think, on this one. The value is already pretty much soaked out of this one, not just for this week, but just the first 2 weeks in general, because the Bucks were one of these teams that were looked at really, really negatively. A lot of times the books know ahead of time, hey, look, we're going to look at this objectively. Who cares what everybody's saying? And that's exactly what they did, and they took everybody's money for the most part. So good for them. Sucks for us. I'm off of it. I already missed it, but you may want to look into that one. This is the one that's going to be my official play because the Falcons are one of my primary teams, one of the 8 teams I'm watching very closely, and I've paid attention very, very closely to both of their games already, and I've rewatched both of their games, and I feel like I have a decent enough handle on them, although I would like to have watched the Lions a little bit more closely. I have watched both of their games as well, but that being said, the Madden algorithm says this should essentially be a pick'em. It says, if anything, the Falcons are 0.18 better, meaning, if you want to round it up drastically, it should be Falcons minus a half a point. Now, the current line on this one is actually Falcons plus 3.5. So give me the Falcons plus 3.5 as the last official play for the channel here. Falcons plus 3.5. Obviously, you're getting through the 3. You're getting the extra hook. If you're on GT bets and you make the Falcons your favorite team, like I have, my 2 favorite teams on there. Not that they're my actual favorite teams, but the Falcons and the Jaguars. I did that because those 2 teams, I could see a lot of times the line being around 3 or 7, and the extra hook is going to make the difference. Had I thought a little bit harder, I probably would have made one of my favorite teams, the Titans, and kept it in the same division, like made it the Saints and the Falcons, or the Titans and the Jaguars, something like that. That way you can kind of, 1, have both sides in the division, and 2, those 2 teams are run-heavy teams that play close games. But anyways, give me the Falcons plus the 3.5. So far, again, the Madden algorithm with this particular team is, I would call it 2-0, but mainly because it kept us off of the second game. So the first game, it said against the Panthers that they should have been, minus 1. Yes, sorry. So it should have been plus 1 against the Panthers, or minus 1, sorry. And it was actually minus 4. You know what? I apologize. I'm fucking this up. I have it backwards. It was supposed to be minus 4 is what the line had it at, and the actual closing line was 3.5. So there was a 0.6 value that we had on the line is what that was. They ended up winning by 14, so they covered. The second game here against the Packers, they really should have been about 1 point favorites. The line was exactly 1. It kept us off of it because there was not any value in it, or it kept me off of it, and it ended on exactly 1, so it was a push. So what that's telling me is, while they're not 2-0 necessarily, the value and the way that Madden algorithm has this team kind of laid out is accurate. They know exactly where it should be, and that push is really like, hey, just kind of proof in the pudding, right? Of course, that it is exactly where it's supposed to be. However, Madden is now telling us, hey, look, these guys should be a pretty even match with the Lions on paper. Again, looking at this objectively, taking away all the news clippings, all the injuries, not that they're not in the algorithm, but just that they're not being overstated. The algorithm stays the same week in, week out. Your opinion probably doesn't on these teams, which is why I like to use this algorithm. And the algorithm is saying this should be a pick'em. And right now you're getting through the 3 with the Falcons. This game, guys, I have this game a lot of different ways just across the board. So now we have the Falcons plus the 3.5. Falcons Lions over 45.5 points for the total. It's not out yet, but I'm looking to get Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown. Desmond Ridder over his rushing yards. All of those plays I want in this game. And then lastly, I want the Falcons-Lions second half to be the highest scoring half. The quick rationale on that, defensive line is going to get tired. That's kind of the whole thought process for the Falcons as well as for the Lions. And a lot of times, because their offensive lines are so good, they want to destroy that other defensive line, wear their ass out, and by the third, fourth quarter, they're going to be able to do what they want to do on the ground, and they've been able to do that for the most part the past 2 weeks, that is being the Falcons, and the Lions had success with that against the Chiefs in week 1. It's not so much against the Seahawks because the Seahawks had just really good receivers. But that being said, I see that that's going to happen again this week, with both of their defensive lines being pretty weak, both of their offensive lines being great. Give me the second half to be the higher scoring half. We actually just saw this play out with the Eagles and Vikings last week on last Thursday night game, where the Eagles, the first half, kind of trying to find the right, strategy, what's going on. Okay, well, we find out that the run is going to work. Let's start grinding them. And then by the time that the fourth quarter came, or even the middle of the third quarter, the Vikings just weren't even really putting up a fight anymore when it came to stopping the run. So I do expect to see that very similar thing here with this game. So give me that one as well. So like I said, this game, I've dissected it. I've looked into it. This is my favorite game, my most heavy game on the board. Like I said, I'm not trying to put a whole bunch of volume out there. I don't need to take a little bit in every game. I want one game that I can really drill down on and feel like I have a really good feel for the teams involved. In this case, specifically the Falcons. So give me all of that. That's the official play, and those are the values for Madden this week. Thank you again, guys. I may have one more video coming out this weekend. I should have one more video coming out by Friday. You guys have a good day and good luck out there.